back to Tech Talk. I'm excited to be back here with you after a brief hiatus. I was dealing with a whole lot. I was out pretty sick with a severe sinus infection. So I appreciate your grace and patience as I was basically not on here for 2 weeks because I was also at a tech conference, which was absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to dive into more of that nerdy goodness with you. So, excuse me. As you can see, I'm not fully 100% yet. So let me know, first off, do you run a social community, right? Whether that be on Facebook group, primarily, this is what I'm really focused on right now, because what we want to talk about is organic strategies, right? Because if you don't have a step-by-step system and strategy on how you're going to manage, monetize, and leverage your social community, then going into the world of ads is a total hot mess. Because if you don't have a system in place, and I'm not talking about just a tech system, right? Like you could have the best tech system, but if it doesn't have the strategy baked into it and you're taking everyone through the systemized process, then it's all for naught, right? Just as a reminder, make sure to click on the link in the description so that I can see your beautiful faces when you comment. So we're talking about today is organic strategies when running a Facebook group, right? And if you guys really like this, we can talk more about these. I'm actually going to be kicking off a new Facebook group that's going to be for more advanced tech, high level tech and social strategy. So if you are one of my super nerds, comment hashtag super nerd, and I'll make sure that I get you, DM you the link to the new group when I get that launched, probably next week. Because that's where we're going to dive into like multi-system automations and really get nerdy with it, y'all. So when you're running a Facebook group, right, you have to have a system in place, right? You need to be able to welcome them to your group and make sure that they're engaging with the content and not just like, oh, hey, let me like queue up a post that says, welcome to all the new people, Tom, Dick, Harry, Joe, Susie, that just joined our group, right? Show of hands, how many of you guys do that and get engagement? Yeah, no, it doesn't really do a lot of good for you. And I'll be honest, my welcome post needs to be updated because it hasn't been updated in over a year. So that will be getting done this week as well. But having a way that, you got to be able to deliver and serve your audience with quality content, right? What are they coming into your group for? And what's the transformation they're going to get by working with you, by being a part of your community? What are they going to get for being there, right? That's what's important. So you need to have that mapped out. Like, what is the journey your group members are going to be on by participating in your community, right? So you guys in here, now, if you've been here for a while, you probably didn't get this super awesome experience, but if you've joined in the past couple of months, then you've been brought in. My community manager would welcome you. They would tag you in the welcome post and then find out what it is that we can help you out with and get you plugged into some resources that are helpful, right? It's really not a complex thing. It's just making sure that we're connecting, that you connect with your audience and then provide value to them. Because if you're not providing value to them, then they're not going to engage. They're not going to participate in your community. And they're definitely not going to buy whatever it is you're selling, right? So if you're running a Facebook group, it would actually be great. You can go ahead and in the comments, go ahead and leave a link to your Facebook community and what it is that you offer in it. Because that might be, you never know, maybe someone here is your target audience. So when having this all mapped out as to when someone joins your group, what do you want them to experience? This is the most important thing, right? Knowing that your member request questions are actually useful. They're providing insight as to who it is that you're bringing into your group, right? You need to be able to, if they're just open-ended questions, how helpful is that to you, right? What is it that you're finding out about your audience when they join your group? Is it helpful information? Is it qualifying them? Is it helping them understand what it is they're going to get out of being in your group? These are real questions, guys. So let me know in the comments, like, what are your member request questions identifying? Is it helping your audience know why they're in your group? Are you fact finding? Are you getting information that's going to be helpful for you down the road? Are you identifying their needs? Or are you just asking arbitrary questions that aren't really helping you with anything? So, and so you have those data points, and now you can leverage those data points into figuring out what do you want to be able to provide them in your group? What is it they're going to get out of being in your community? How are they going to benefit? What are they going to learn, experience, do, touch, feel, see, right? Like, when you're in my community, you're going to see wacky Colleen, right? Like, I am a magical rainbow unicorn mermaid, right? Like, we go off the rails sometimes. But that's part of who I am and the experience that I want people to have, because I know working with technology is super frustrating and overwhelming. So if I can lighten the mood a bit, make it a little bit more fun and engaging and just a little bit of silliness, then that's what I want you to experience. I want you to experience being inspired to dive into technology without being fearful of it. So what I want you to do is, like, seriously write out what it is you want your customers to experience when they join your communities, because that's important. If you don't know what that is, they definitely don't know what it is. And, that's kind of that's scary, right? So if you know what you want your customers to experience, let me know in the comments. What is it that you have? Do you have specific touch points? Do you have specific questions you ask? What are the steps you take them through before you, or do you just straight up be like, hey, welcome to my group, buy my stuff? I mean, that's a strategy. It's not one I would encourage, but it is a strategy nonetheless. And that's what we're diving into, because again, I've seen so many people dive into using paid ads way too soon. They don't have a system in place, and then they have all of these tons and tons and tons and tons of leads. They don't go anywhere, or they just fall through the cracks, and they just dripping money out of their hands because you're paying for ads and you don't have a system in place. So that's really what I want to dive into today with you guys. And let me know in the comments, would you like more of like a full-on workshop about this, about how to take your customers through an experience in a Facebook group? Because I want to make sure that the content we're providing here is super helpful for you guys. And I want to make sure that you guys are benefiting and moving the needle forward in some way for being in here. Also, if you think it would be better to have shorter clips in like reels with little tips and tricks on how to do things, comment reels, and I will look at making more reel content, or just taking time to record and then posting them throughout the week. Because the goal here is to make sure that you guys are moving the needle forward on your tech systems. So if that's not happening with what we're doing, I want to make sure that we adjust and serve you the best that we can. I know next week is going to be our big workshop. We're going to dive into systems and automations, which is going to be amazing because it's my favorite thing. Because if I can automate everything, then all I got to do is one action, and I have 6 months of things mapped out. So that being said, let me know in the comments about what you do when you have someone join your Facebook community. Is there a specific strategy you use? Are there any tools you use? Like, y'all know I'm a huge GroupTrack fan. I will put my link in the chat, link in the comment for my my affiliate links. You can get a trial, and if you do end up being a paid subscriber, you get some one-on-one time with me to help get your system set up and running, and extra awesome. So I will catch you guys next week when we do our big workshop. Yeah, buddy. With that, I will let me know if you the big things to let me know in the comments here is, do you have a system you take your customers through, your prospects and customers through on social? Do you have a tech system that you use? And if you are not using GroupTrack yet, make sure to check out my link in the comments. And also, would you guys want shorter form content with just tips and tricks on how to do different things? See you next week.